You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.
What up?
Do you think I feel like
fucked
you're
up my mic shit.
why?
You feel like what?
I feel like you're cold. Like you're being cold is like a old sign of being an old man.
No, I'm just cold. I get colder easily, and I guess because I lost a lot of weight too. I'm probably
Subtle flex there.
no. It's not subtle. It's the reality.
No, but you were saying that to flex.
No, I was not.
You maybe you just also have like bad circulation.
No, I think I'm good. I just got since I moved to Florida many years ago. I got very cold.
So my entire life, but I don't remember that being my entire life thing. In the past like 7 years,
Okay,
thing,
it was cold in there.
It was.
My nipples are majorly
here's
erect.
Here's the thing. It was it was cold, but everyone else,
I was shivering.
3,000 other people that were walking
They were
around
not
this
3,000.
hotel were just walking around. Dad was like this. First of all, hands like this, hunched over. You were
It was
walking
cold.
like this. You're
I'm
like,
cold.
Oh my God, it's cold in here. Oh my God. What? Every room.
First, I don't sound like that.
Every room we
I don't
walked
sound like
in,
that. You sound like that.
Every room we walked in, you went, holy shit, it's cold
fucking
in
cold.
here.
It is cold.
And it's like, yes, everyone else was also cold.
But I don't
in there,
care about anybody.
but
I'm worried
people-
about. I only care about me
Well,
right
I know,
now.
but you were like, oh my God, it's
Okay,
cold.
all right. Nice to have you back.
But everyone else,
It's cold.
okay, it's just old manish of you. It's fine. Yeah, we took a week off because I was sick and you were away. I was like I hate being sick.
It does suck being sick.
It sucks.
It
and
does.
it's just like, you're just like, what's the point of this? This is such a waste.
And there's so much shit you got to do. But did
And
it
you're just
stop? Did it
lying
stop
there.
you from anything?
Yeah, I went to school the first day, and then I went to school in the morning, and then I got home, and I was like, I'm just going to get into bed. I'm just tired. And I slept for like 6 hours. Like I literally just passed out.
That's nice.
And like I couldn't even move. And I woke up.
You're a napper though, aren't you? You're a napper.
But it was a different kind. That's a 6 hours sleeping isn't a nap. That's a sleep.
Okay.
I slept from like 12 to 5. Like I got
Wow.
home and then I woke up at 5 p.m. and I was like,
Wow.
oh my God.
You were sick.
And then when you're just like, your body aches and you can't
the
move.
worst.
And you just lay in bed and you're like, I can't move. Because if I move, my body hurts.
And your mommy wasn't there to help you, but you had your woman there.
Yeah. She made me soup and everything.
She's a good woman.
But I also, when I'm sick, I don't really want people to be around either.
I get it.
Like I just need to lay in bed, watch nonsense,
But you're feeling better now.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. But we miss you
Yeah,
guys.
getting sick, it would be like if I was out of the office, it'd be brutal for me. Like one day out of the office fucks you up.
Yeah. And then you have to catch up, and then it's stressful
Oh,
because now you're dealing with the normal and the catch up.
Emails that kill you and the phone calls and the well, I guess that's what it is
Yeah. I'm in my last week of school
for the semester,
for the semester. And then I'm officially halfway done,
which
with law
I think
school.
would stop picking,
which is crazy.
which I think went fast.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure people listening, they were listening
I remember,
when I was
right.
talking about going to law school. And so now they're like, wow, Bronson's halfway done with law school.
I can't even believe that it's literally almost the end of November. I mean, you just did Halloween a couple weeks. I mean, it's
Oh, well,
crazy.
yeah, but Halloween's the end of October.
No, but I'm just saying how fast things are going.
Yeah. 2024 was
gone.
a very fast year. It's gone. It's over.
No, God.
There's 1 month left in 2024.
Fuck.
And it feels like 2024 just started. But this was a fantastic year.
Honestly, it's a historical, pivotal moment of him winning. Like I said in the last one.
Yeah, Jake Paul.
That
That was kind of
By the way, let's talk about that for a second, which I know we
Okay.
spoke briefly.
Let's
It's
talk
going to be
about-
3 minutes. A little sad. Like he shouldn't have done it.
I was saying that before any
I
of
thought
the
it was
fight
going
even
to come in as a
started.
beast. See, I was looking like I thought you said it was like all theatrical or whatever, or not real.
I don't think any of those boxing fights are ever really real. Like,
I don't know. Jake Paul held back, obviously, and
Definitely.
Tyson was almost like he had brain damage. Like it was terrible.
he's an old man.
He's my age. No,
But also, he's
beast.
been destroyed his entire
But he's
life.
still a fucking beast. He went in.
But he was a beast when he was in his 20s. What if that's caught up to him? He might not be the same beast.
But even his training, the way he did a lot of heavy training. I thought he was going to come out a lot better than he did. Even the commentators like,
I think it was
just a money grab.
Yeah. And I think both of them were doing it like they knew what the play was. And I think Mike Tyson didn't unleash himself because he was kind of there to
and Tyson got 10 million and Jake Paul got 40. Jake Paul's bigger than Tyson? I would have thought the draw was Tyson. So why wouldn't he?
No, because Mike Tyson fought a fight like 3 years ago. And did you watch it? No one watched it. No one cared.
Yeah, but nobody cares about Jake Paul.
No, but everyone in the country watched that fight. Because they don't care about Jake Paul, but it's like Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson. We got to see it.
True, but why would he get 4 times the amount?
Because he put it together. I don't know.
He did put it together?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it was Mike Tyson fighting someone else, I don't think people would have tuned in as much. But it's because people hate Jake Paul. They're like, I got to watch this. But that's all fabricated.
Tyson was a letdown.
Jake Paul knows exactly what he's doing. He fabricates the hate.
Right.
Because it makes
he
him
loved
money.
him at the end. He said, I respect you. I love you. Right. Correct.
Yeah. It's all just a show. They're showmen. But hey, that's fine.
So
I felt bad for him just as like an old person.
Tyson.
Like, yeah.
I felt bad for him.
It's like you had such an amazing career.
And this is how I remember you now.
But did you see it was like this viral thing that everyone was like, this is so funny. When like the day before the fight, some kid on TikTok or something, like a kid, bless you. Whoa.
That's only 6. I do about 7 or 8.
A kid report, 6 is about 7.
I do
if you say I do about 7 sneezes, 6 is that.
No, but I said that was only 6. I know,
right.
but I don't need to be corrected by you.
No. I'm not correcting you. I'm saying those are the same thing.
Okay.
Right? 6 is about 7.
So you want to spend more time in the same do about Tyson. Okay, great. Do we really talk about that?
I didn't say do we really need to talk about Tyson.
Okay, can you just say what you want to say about the kid in fucking
The
YouTube?
kid asked him, they were like, what do you want your
Tyson.
legacy to be?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And he was like,
the 13-year-old
yeah, and
black
everyone
girl.
thought it was funny because they're like, bro, you're talking to a kid. Because he answered, he was like,
oh, no.
legacy is all so
he's
stupid.
He's saying no matter. He's very real and says whatever.
I know, but it's funny that you're like giving an answer to a kid that's like such a deep, nihilistic, depressing answer.
It was interesting, his answer.
But his answer kind of gives a little bit of sense. Like you're saying, now this is what I think of him, his legacy. And it's like I think he gave his answer. He was like, what is legacy? It doesn't matter.
Right.
I've only ever been doing this for the money. I'm doing it for the money now. What is my legacy? When
the
I'm
girl
dead,
was good. The young kid's like, all right.
Well, she goes, well, I've never heard that answer to it before, so thank you for that. She didn't really know.
No, she was good.
Yeah.
But he was funny, right? At least have a little humanity or a compassion.
You're talking to a little girl.
Right. He
just
was
be like, oh, I'm so excited. But like,
no, he didn't care.
It's a little 13-year-old
girl. But that shows
girl.
you who he is. He's from the streets. He's really just hardcore, and he's like a beast.
Yeah, but ever since his daughter died, I think he totally changed. He lost that beast.
Yeah. How did he? How did his daughter die?
She was like 8, and she died on the treadmill in their house. She like got caught on a rope or something and died in the house. And I think I worked with
terrible.
When I worked in Hollywood, we worked
little flex there.
One of the writers that I worked with was writing. I think this movie has died since, but he was writing the Mike Tyson biopic that was going to be directed by Todd Phillips, who did The Hangover, The Joker. So it was going to be a great movie. I don't know what happened to it, but he was writing that script, and so he told us that he would spend for 6 months, he was spending almost every day with Mike. He would go over to his house, spend the entire day with him, do everything just to learn who he was so that he could write him, authentically. And he told me directly, he was like, Mike is so
broken,
affected by this. He said he would go over to his house and they would sit on his couch and talk for 9 hours just about how impacted he is by his daughter dying and how life is meaningless and he has to find meaning in these things because he said for weeks, 9 hours a day, Mike would just talk about his daughter. So it's like this guy he's a different person than he was when he was the fighter in his 20s.
Sad, man. You never know.
And he blames himself for it. So I think he's really fucked up. I mean, he had the tattoo of her on his chest.
Yeah, it looked like a blob, but
yeah, it did.
Because it looked like a prison tat.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's some birthmark.
So the fight was, nothing.
Yeah,
It was what it was.
Yeah, you spoke more than you wanted to speak about it.
It's fine. It was in the culture. Everyone was talking about it, so we might as well give our 2 cents. The UFC fight was last night, and did you see that?
No, I did not.
Jon Jones fought and won.
I did not watch the fight.
And right when he won, Trump was there, obviously, and everyone was cheering for Trump and everything. And right when Jon Jones won, he won the belt, like the heavyweight championship belt, and he gave it to Trump. Jon Jones is a black man. And on national television to millions and millions of viewers. When he won, he goes, "Do you guys like my Trump dance?" And he went like this.
Yeah,
and everyone was laughing.
That's great.
And then he went up and gave his belt to Trump, and they were talking for like 5 minutes. We couldn't hear it. And then also, did you watch like the end of the Jake Paul fight where Jake was talking?
Yes.
And he said, he was like,
great to have America get back.
Yeah, he's like, it's a
I
new
love my
era
country.
for
Yeah.
truth.
Huge. No, I thought that was huge, by the way.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to change. Everybody wants it.
You can feel it. There's a real change.
No, you could, and by the way, and you could feel the shit for the love now for our country. Like we have hope, we have faith, we have excitement for things to change and get better.
Yeah, we were talking.
I have a different attitude towards our country now. Yeah, and I'm pumped to see you saw. We were talking. What were we saying?
We were talking on the Patreon the night after the election, and I was saying to you, and this is even set in even more in the last 2 weeks since the election. Now, because now I really feel it. Like before the election, the night of the election, I was thinking, I was like, wow, this is a really important. Just to make it about me, right? I was like, this is a really important election in my life. Like this can change and alter my life, right? Because even think like COVID happened. And that altered my personal life and put it on a path that is completely different than the path it was on. Right? So it's like there are external things that can affect our lives. So I was thinking like, wow, this election can really do that for my life. It can make it go in a fantastic way, or it can make it go a worse way.
Yeah.
And it's like the next 4 years during this presidency, first of all, let alone like the foundations that this presidency might lay for the future, right? For the generations. But just in the 4 years, it's like I'm getting married during this election cycle. I'm probably going to buy my first house during this during this presidency. Have a kid during this presidency. It's like those are huge, monumental life things that it's like they can either be severely hampered or they could be helped.
Well, I think it's going to be significantly helped.
Right. And so now it's like I was thinking that before the election. And now that Trump is in office, he's been putting in these people into the cabinet, which we'll talk about, I'm sure. It's like now I'm looking at the country and I'm like, it really is.
It could prosper very well.
Yeah. It's the first time in my entire life that I look at the government and I'm like, there can be real good down here. Like,
yes,
they can actually have our back and we can actually accomplish things. My entire life, I've always just felt,
you were anti-government. Now you seem like you're pro-government.
Well, it's just that it was always
positive towards it now.
Or at least like they're a tool for us. It always felt like, we as the people want things to be done in our lives, but we're always having to fight against the establishment, fight against the government to get
I think this government is for the people.
Now it feels like, I think that the food color, the food coloring in the food is bad, or the plastic in the food, or I think that these things are bad. And I've made changes in my own life for these things. But now that RFK is in charge of the FDA and he can actually implement those changes as well, it's like, oh my God,
huge.
He's speaking my language. Yep. I have someone that I can
on
relate
your behalf,
to, who is advocating for the health of the children. It's like, and the fact that that's controversial. The whole country is not the whole country. The media and the establishment are freaking out and demonizing RFK now that he's been appointed.
But it doesn't work anymore. People know the reality.
No. But then it's like, how can you?
Because there's so many people, Brian, that I talk to that I never thought in a million years they are so pumped for what the future holds. Mm-hmm. That word Dems.
Yeah. Rogan was saying on his latest episode, he said, you have no idea how many liberal, hippie, artists, people that are friends of mine. He's like, I'm not going to say anyone publicly. You have no idea how many of those type of people have been texting me.
Yep.
Thank God you
had him on.
Yeah. Thank God you endorsed him. Like, I'm so excited for what the future is. And they're like, we can't come out ourselves and say it, which is also such bullshit. And I think that's going to start changing.
I think that would change within about 6 months to a year.
Yeah. I mean, already you saw I do want to get back to RFK and the appointments, but already I was expecting so much more backlash post Trump win than there was. There was
nothing.
An afternoon of women posting on Instagram.
No,
and then that was it. That was really it.
Right.
There was nothing else. Everything now was like, okay, yeah, this is our country. He went,
and it's the first time I feel like Americans are proud to be American now. When I talk to people and see it's different. There's a different energy level.
Yes, there's a vibe shift.
Yeah.
Because when Biden won, right, like a lot of people on the left weren't proud of America. That was kind of a lot of the platform they ran on. It's America's bad. We need to fix it. You know, there's all these problems. We need to change the culture. And then a lot of people on the right were like, fuck the establishment, fuck the government. We're not proud to be Americans either. Right? So now it's like you have the whole entire right being like, we're proud to be this country. Look at what we're doing now. We've chosen. And then you still have people on the left who are like, okay, maybe this can be a shot. So there definitely
I think there are people on the left to say it wasn't working. It's just not working. And then you look at her. She spent over $1 billion on her fucking campaign and still in debt. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are just. I mean, clearly it was shown because he had more votes than any Republican candidate in the history.
Is that an amazing?
And I think it really is.
And we thought it was going to be weeks, Bronny, before we find out.
Yeah, he found out that night.
Destroyed.
And also now officially the Republicans have the Senate and the House and the Supreme Court. Which the Supreme Court shouldn't be partisan, but it is.
It should not be, right? I agree. But we know John's not blind.
But it doesn't even need to be blind. The fact that it's partisan is messed up. The fact that it's like we're saying, oh, the court is Republican. The court can be conservative or liberal, but like the fact that they're like Republican is a little messed up.
I think it's more the conservative and liberal versus Republican.
But they do kind of like...
They can label what they want. But
like we know that the court is like on Trump's side.
Right.
And they shouldn't be. The court shouldn't be on any president's side.
We had a pot about this. I agree.
But whatever, like that is what it is at the moment. But the fact that all three branches of government are unified, at least they're unified behind like a cause that I'm behind. If they were unified, I mean, so I don't know. I feel like, but then again, okay, so because part of me feels like that's dangerous. That was the whole point of the three branches is that they're never unified so that they can always check each other. So the fact that all three branches are unified is like that's anti what the Constitution was designed for. But then again, besides the judicial branch, the two other branches that are now unified were the vast majority voted
it's
in.
It's the people that did, right. That's how bad. See, I don't want to use the word Dem because the Democrats, there's a lot of good Democrats. That's not what, so I don't, and I have a lot of Democratic views as well. You know, I'm trying to say, like, I always say I'm fiscally conservative, but I believe you need to help those who need help. Like, I believe in that stuff.
Well, old school Dem values, because the modern Democratic Party isn't that.
Right. I'm talking about right. So the new Democratic Party,
progressives.
I call them liberals. I don't like the Democrat because they're so
liberal is an old school term too. Like we are both liberal. We believe that gay people should get married.
I'm talking about right. Okay, I'm talking about. I call it fucked up. It's so far over.
The modern technical term for it is progressives.
They did it to themselves in the media.
For sure.
Their elitism. You know, it's funny how now
condescending.
Yeah, it's so funny how now that the Republicans are for the people. It's like they're the Democrats.
Right, that's what I mean. They flipped. Yeah.
Yeah, they flipped 100%.
And
but I'm happy. Like this is a huge shift and change, like and people's views, and even I don't even think that they will. Yeah, and you did talk about this years ago. How
I said the pendulum is.
You said
swinging.
news TV will be a thing of the past. It'll be more a podcast, whatever.
Trump won the election.
Trump did the right stuff.
The podcasts are what won the election. 100%. The legacy media didn't shift the election.
They're still complaining, though. I love watching it. They're still so fucking retarded.
And they look like liberal media still, like, how do I put this?
They're like bitches.
One of the main reasons that the Democrats and like the liberal media machine behind the Democrats lost is because they're out of touch with reality. And they look at more than half of the country and they're like, you're idiots. And not only are you idiots, but you're all racist and sexist too because you just have to be. Because you don't agree with
labels
us.
Out. It's so ridiculous.
That was one of the main reasons why they lost, is literally because people were like...
Even Barack Obama said to the black men, he goes, if you don't vote for her, you are a racist. I mean, is that not stupid?
That's right. So it's like normal people look around.
Don't fucking judge me. I'll do what I want. I'm going to have my own opinion.
And also, it's just
I'm not saying to you, but saying it's what they probably say.
But also, it's like normal people, right? Barack Obama never interacts with the real world. Joy Reid on MSNBC never interacts with the real world. So they live in these bubbles that they're only fed the certain information. And then they regurgitate it. But the people sitting at home, even if you're very liberal, you're sitting at home and you watch MSNBC.
It's offensive.
But it's also just not real. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like they're sitting at home, they're watching Joy Reid say, the society is racist. Everyone who supports Trump is a sexist, racist, and they're
Hitler,
taking your rights away.
Right, correct.
Right? And then those people, however, they go to work at just a normal office, and their desk mate, who is a 65-year-old white guy who is supporting Trump because he doesn't like the trans stuff. And they're like, I've always been friends with Jerry. He's definitely not racist or sexist, right? So it's like, it's just they're being fed all this information, and then they go into the real world and they're like, this just isn't true. They're lying to us, and so I think
the news is a problem.
They just couldn't do it anymore. But then
they want change, Bronny.
But the problem
and he
is
talked about what his issues were. She never talked about anything. She was the worst in the amount of votes ever.
Yeah, but it's bigger than Kamala. It doesn't. Kamala is the tip of the iceberg of the issue. It has nothing to do with her. I don't think it's the Democratic Party. She's just a figurehead, if you will. Like, I don't think you could just swap her out. If anything, she's forgotten already. Like, you could just swap her out with anyone. It's the party themselves that are the issue, right? Like, people weren't voting Trump because they were anti-Kamala. They were voting Trump because they're like, I'm done with this trans woke bullshit, right?
No, I get that.
And that wasn't Kamala.
But I'm just saying, but she still was the one running on behalf of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
And she got the least amount of votes.
Right, but not because of her, because of the woke shit. That's what I think. And because of the liberal media, and because people are fed up and everything.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. But I also think they could have chose a better candidate.
Definitely. I mean, I'm glad that they chose her.
Me too. And she could have chose they could have chose a better VP too.
Yeah, but I'm glad it all worked out the way
I
it
agree.
did.
Brian, you know me. I'm not sounding like a dick. I was going to cry because the amount of devastation, the irreversible devastation would have been so bad for the future of you and your children. It would have been done. Let's talk about who's the guy that's in charge of the border now. What's his name?
I don't know.
Oh, he's great.
No, I know what you're talking about.
He's an ex-cop.
Yeah, why is he great?
I heard he's no bullshit. It's going to be a fucking change. It's going to be a change. I'm telling you, it's going to be a change.
Yeah, I mean, Trump's been appointing people left and right, just going.
And for the most part, for him, hearing very good choices.
Marco Rubio for Secretary of State.
Now, I heard that DeSantis can now appoint someone to fill his position.
Just for 2 years.
And who would that be, you think?
I don't know. Which I don't like that idea at all.
A lot of power.
Yeah, that just doesn't seem democratic to me at all, but that's just the way the system works, I guess. I don't know like Marco Rubio's Secretary of State qualifications at all. But,
what does Secretary of State do?
They deal with all the other countries.
It's a big position, right?
It's arguably the second biggest position, even more than vice president.
Really?
Because the Secretary of State is in charge of like every international political thing. And the fact that now we're in Trump ran on...
I'm going to shut these wars down.
Yeah, Trump ran on America first in the world, right? Like, we are only focusing on America. We're not focusing on the world anymore. So it's like Secretary of State that all goes through that department.
Do you think
that's a big department?
Rubio can run for office in 4 years.
He's tried so many times and he's always failed. He's run like every single time. I don't know why Trump chose him.
Is Vivek picked in the cabinet for anything?
No, Trump put him and Elon for like Department of Government Efficiency, but it's not a real department. They're going to be like consultants,
business people to make the government run smoother,
to come
more
in and
efficient.
make it efficient. That's what they're
I respect
going
that.
for. We'll see what I hope that they can accomplish what they want to, because I think that'll be great.
They're all good ideas.
He chose a Fox News host, Fox and Friends host for
which one?
Department of Defense, Secretary of Defense. His name
Show me. Oh, the blonde guy. Yeah, why
he's a veteran.
him? Okay, so he was on Fox and Friends. I remember that.
Yeah,
he's a young guy. He has a horse ranch or something.
Yeah,
they showed.
He also wears a Christ cavalry, or I forget what it's called. He wears the
cavalry Christian.
No. There's like a sect of Christians that are like they're like militant Christians, and they're like, we need to forcibly convert all the world to Christianity. Let me see.
That's
if I can
fucked
find it.
up.
Yeah, and he wears that everywhere he goes. So that's a little.
I don't like that.
Yeah, me neither.
And
Especially if you're the one in charge of the military.
Wait. So what's
hold
his
on.
position? He's in charge of Secretary of Defense?
Yeah, he's in charge of the military.
He's a kid, though.
He's young, but he was in the military.
So what?
A lot of times they choose
right.
A lot of times they choose people that are just like, intelligence ops. And it's where is this? Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. This
He's
guy.
a baby.
This tattoo.
That's his dad?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
Let me see.
It's like a militant Christian thing. Let me see if I can.
That's a real big
Pete
fuck.
Hegseth
He's tatted big time.
tattoo.
Let me see his tats. Ronnie.
Here. He also has, what does that say? Deus Dolt? I don't know what that means. Latin. Let me see what this tattoo is, because I might have it wrong. Deus Volt. Pete Hegseth sports a large Jerusalem cross on his chest and the Latin inscription Deus Volt, which translates to God wills it. Both symbols date to the Christian Crusades in the Middle East and are common images in Christian symbology. He spoke out after a report that would flagged him as an insider threat by an Army National Guard member who told leadership in 2021 the Deus Volt tattoo has been used by white supremacists. J.D. Vance slammed the AP for the report. They're attacking him for having a Christian motto tattooed on his arm. This is disgusting anti-Christian bigotry. He's 44. Served 2 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. He holds degrees from Princeton and Harvard. 44, I don't think is.
No, I got it.
That's 10 years younger than you. It's like that's not that
interesting
young.
that he chose him, huh?
It's probably his buddy. But then again, it's like Trump ran on. What's his name? Tim Dillon was saying this. Tim was like, Trump ran on. We are getting out of all these wars. Like all these wars in the world are going to end. We're not getting involved in any new war. So he's like, this position shouldn't be anything, right? Like this guy shouldn't be doing much over the next 4 years. I think he was being sarcastic because I think it's like saying Trump ran on all these things, but the military is still going to be like, very involved.
Still need the military. Yeah, I remember he was on Fox and Friends. I remember I don't know enough about him. I don't know how strong he is or whatever.
But I don't know like anyone who they would have put in there. It's like I don't really know any of these people. Like Colin Powell, it's like I don't know anything about him,
Well, he was very high up in the.
Yeah, so he was
Is he in a panel now? He was.
Panel?
Is he one of cabinets?
Pete Heg
Colin.
Oh no.
Look up the guy in charge of the border. He's actually I listened
His name's
to
like Lee Tom Homan.
Yes.
Who am I thinking of?
Tom Homan.
Lee Zeldin, that's what I was thinking of for the EPA. Tom Homan.
He's pretty strong. I watched him on Hannity. He was very good.
Tom Homan.
No bullshit.
He looks like he's going to come in and round up a lead.
Oh, he's going to fuck people up. Yeah, he's
this
like
is
that.
the guy that's like...
No, you want that.
He looks like he's going to come in
you gotta listen to him
kick
talk.
all the people
You got to
out.
listen to him talk. Can you listen to him talk for a minute? He's no bullshit. He's strong, I'm telling you. And we need this for the border, Bronny.
Yeah, the border
is a big thing.
It's maybe one of the most important.
No, it's a big thing. Can you watch him on Hannity or whatever? I don't know. You'll hear him. Just watch.
Done. You're done.
Oh, no, that's...
You heard that one, right? That's a good one, though. The one you just said before.
Offend anybody tonight? I don't give a shit. How many pounds of fentanyl didn't make in this country to kill Americans? How many known suspected terrorists didn't make it in the country? How many billions of dollars did the cartels make? President Trump is one badass president. He secured the border at a level we've never seen before. And I got a message to the millions of illegal aliens that's been released into the United States under this administration. Don't get too comfortable. We're going to need some help. Do I have any volunteers that want to come back and help run the biggest deportation operation in the history of this nation?
It feels a little
What?
Like a little like we're rounding up the Jews.
The greatest
vibes.
president of my lifetime walking back in the White House.
I don't think it's like that. It's let's
You
get rid of the
don't?
illegals. I'm all that.
Anyone want to come help me round up the biggest deportation? No,
But the illegals.
I'm joking a little bit, but it does feel a little like
he said he was like the amount that's coming with the cartel is a terrorist. They're being treated as terrorists now. So the laws of against terrorism is attributable now to the people, the cartel coming in. And if you come in and if you have a child here, and you probably do that, you're here illegally, your kid's going back with you. That's what he said.
You don't agree with that.
Well, this is what he said. I'm just telling you.
You think you should round up everyone who that applies to?
Listen, I think, it's a tough call.
Well, wait, with American citizen?
No, like they come here purposely just have a baby.
Right, but the baby's born and is an American citizen now.
But the baby, so the parents should stay. I don't know what the answer is.
But you said round up the kid.
No, they're saying you're going to take your baby back if you want, right?
But that's an American citizen.
I get it. What do you do?
They have but that baby has the exact same rights as I do.
I know. Listen,
they're an American citizen.
You have no rights. Listen, all I'm just saying is we need something. At least look, they're not going to round up everybody.
But there's a big difference between like people who just came in last week and people who have been here for 7 years. Right?
Different story. 100%. I agree.
But they're both illegals.
No, but I hear what you're saying. Different.
Like I think we have to start with like it has to be recency, right? It's like start from the people who came in yesterday, then the day before, then the day before.
I think people have to be for threats, bigger threats first. Determine who's a threat and not.
That's the most important.
The most important
the bad
thing.
People first.
Correct. And by the way,
first of all, no, the day one, close it. No,
close it.
No new people.
And let's clean up internally the mess.
Then let's figure it out.
And I'm not so opposed. If it sort of sucks, but I'm not so opposed that like I do think that our laws to allow people to come here legally could be antiquated or a little like too slow and I think if people do want to come in, you follow the proper protocol and you want to contribute, because there's a lot of Americans who are fucking just drain the system and fucking low lives, and there's people who want to come in and work and become U.S. citizens and pay tax and believe. If you believe in the capitalistic American way and you want to contribute,
and as long as you're contributing, if you have a
welcome
job,
home.
Well, I think it should be a lot. I think it should be,
but I think
fairly easy to be able to come live in America, work in America legally. I think it should be difficult to become a citizen. I think there's a difference.
Okay, fair enough.
I think because even coming and living here to work here is not easy. Like you have to be sponsored by a job, or you have to have all these things.
Easy. It's not
so I think it should be fairly easy, because I think when you make it too difficult to come, you're kind of incentivizing the
corruption,
illegal aspect of it. If you make it too difficult, people are going to be like, the world's going to be like, oh, okay, we're not going to try. No, they're going to fucking try. They're just going to do it illegally now.
I think if you...
But to become a citizen, I think that should still stay as hard as it is.
If you don't like the American way, then don't come to our country. And if you're American, don't like our American way, get out of our country.
Well, no, you can't.
I'm trying to say. I'm not saying do it.
But also, I disagree with that, because let's say Kamala won. You would be like, I hate the way America's going. Should you leave? No. You want to make it better. So you should stay and make it better.
But I'm not.
But what you mean is just if they don't like the America that you want.
No, what I'm saying is I don't think we should need to change where America.
But what if Kamala was president?
But I don't agree with that. But I think she wants to harm our country.
If Kamala was president,
I want her out.
Wait. If Kamala was president, would you be saying we need to change how America is? You would be. You'd be like, we need to change how America is. That's what Trump ran on.
I think
make America great again.
Think she's changing America. That's what I'm saying. That's
but America's always changed. So wait, do we need to go back to 1776 America?
Okay, stop with the little.
But you're the one saying if you don't like America, leave it. It's like no. Because
understand what I'm talking about?
We didn't like America under Biden.
Okay,
we didn't.
Okay, Brian,
right,
Brian, you're not even letting me talk. And when I say this, we're going back to the old ways. You understand? I'm talking general things about America, certain foundations. Okay, when you hate America, or let's say like the Muslim movement coming in and trying to change, bring America
that's
down.
Not the majority of the Democrats aren't the Muslim movement. It's like black people are saying America doesn't support us, right? Like that's what we're really talking about. When you say the people who hate
because I don't care about if
how many Muslim Americans who are anti-America, is that a problem? I've never met one of them ever. Have you?
There are a lot of people within America that really want to break down America and change America to I'm talking about a core base. Like you can have conservative, reform, orthodox, ultra orthodox. There's different sects in the religion, but there's still a basic foundation of certain commonalities. America has a certain. If you ask 100 people, what does America mean? People say freedoms, rights.
But some people would not say that.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about a majority. I'm talking about. Listen, I'm talking about common stuff. For example, we among Jews or among Christianity, and I know more about Judaism, so I'm just saying, using that as an analogy. Even there's different kinds of groups among and more religious and less religious in the Jewish sect. There's still a commonality, and even like a Jewish culture, there's a commonality among Jews wherever you come from. Even though you might have difference, you can have a liberal Jew, you can have a real conservative Jew, but there's still certain commonalities. Same with America. There's a foundation, a certain basic, broad, general statements that could, let's say, it's 3, 5, or 10 different things that are basic American ways.
I just disagree.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Because I think if you act like, I think in your community, yes, you feel that way. I think there are plenty of. Well, you just don't, how do you know? You don't know these communities. I think if you go to a very rural, poor, black community that has been affected by slavery for the last 200 years, right? Like they're descendants of slaves and all this stuff. I think if you went to them and you go, what does America mean to you? Generally, to the whole population, not individual, to you as a group, I don't think they would say freedom, democracy, greatness. I don't think they would say that. I think they view it differently. You saying all Americans view America as this core belief, I don't think
general.
I know, but me too. I don't think that that's true.
Okay, I disagree with you.
But I mean, clearly it's not true, because for the last 4 years, half of the country was saying America is bad, America is corrupt, America needs to change, America's racist,
right?
America's sexist.
They wanted to change to certain ways the way America
but
used to be.
That's what they believe.
No, I think that the reason why it got so bad and Trump did so well, even from the other side voting for Trump, is because people wanted to go back to the way of the core about America, American pride, America, capitalism, working, freedom, rights, being a power, the most powerful nation.
When was the last time we were those things? Not all of them, I guess, but when was the last time you felt those things? I think
people even under Clinton felt that America was strong.
But we were free, we were powerhouse, we were.
Yeah, I think
under Clinton we were going into other countries and invading them and killing children.
I'm talking about general statements of what the American people felt, the American way, the American culture, not branching off into give me specifics.
But I think you're just like in the 70s, the entire decade of the 70s, no one felt that way. There were huge riots in the streets from every type of culture of people saying, the government is fucking horrible. The president was fucking killed, right? Like the other president was caught spying on people, and all the people were right. No, but I'm asking you. So it's like there are times in this, but the 70s, we don't look back on the 70s and be like, that was a bunch of people who hated America. We actually look back on it and be like, those people were fighting to make America back to what it wanted to be, right? Like
which is
the freedom fighters in the 70s.
Which is
I don't know.
Finish that sentence.
No, but that's what I'm asking you.
What were they fighting for?
I don't know. They were fighting for the version of America that they wanted, but they were hippies. The people that were fighting, they were hippies that were protesting the military, right? So you're saying there are these core fundamental American ideas, and I'm saying I think that that's propaganda. I don't think there have ever been those things, and I think that you think that most of the country agrees on these things. I'm saying I don't think that that's true. I think that there's different pockets of propaganda, and I bet just as strongly as you believe America fits is ABC, that there are other pockets in this country that believe just as strongly that America is XYZ, and they're bad ones.
Okay.
And none of you are right.
Of course, there are people that think differently.
And those people shouldn't leave.
Okay. I think my view, what I'm saying is the majority. We just disagree. I think if you ask the majority of people, they would have somewhat common adjectives describing what America is, certain core values.
Yeah, ideals.
Right.
For it.
That's what I'm saying. And I think that's what people want.
I don't think there's been the reality of that America ever.
And I think people want that back. They want certain things of those ideals of America, and that's why. And again, meaning.
That's definitely why Trump. Well, one of the main reasons why Trump won.
Right. So that's
because he was giving hope.
And people want certain basic traits and characteristics of America.
Yeah, and just how we got on this is I wasn't saying against that. I was saying I was against what you said when you said, if you don't like America, you should leave. And I'm saying, no, because actually the people who, if you're American and you say, I don't like the current America, I want it to change because I don't like how it's run now, I think you need those people to stay because you need to always have people who are disagreeing. That's what America is. If everyone is just on one side, then America will change drastically, actually. I think if you have people disagreeing all the time, that's how you keep America the way it is. If Kamala, and just because I was saying the same logic would apply to you, if you don't like America, leave. If Kamala won, in a year from now, you would be saying, I hate the way America's going. I hate it. I want to change it. And you should stay here because you want to change it.
But the difference is, what I'm saying is that
you want to change it for better.
Yeah,
but they also.
No.
You just don't agree.
No.
You just don't agree.
Okay. You have it all figured out.
You don't think a black person.
You said it, but you didn't let me speak. I love you. You gotta let me talk, Bronny. Okay. I'm talking about the certain core fundamental ideas, ideology, whatever it is. That's how
a communist, right? Who's like, I want America to be communist.
Yeah, I don't think that then
they should leave.
Yes,
but that's not America.
Okay, but I'm just giving my opinion.
Yeah, same. I agree.
Right, just then fucking get out of. I don't need you here. If you want to make listen, if you want to make everybody transgender, you want to give handouts to everybody. You want everybody to work from home, not even work. You want to collect unemployment. You want everybody. You want socialism. You don't believe in capitalism or whatever. Yeah, that's not to me what America is. Get the fuck out of my country. Period.
No, what America is the best ideas rise to the top, not kick them out. You're doing what the liberals have done. Oh, you don't share my exact idea. Get the fuck out. Actually, what we've been saying is no. The marketplace of ideas. Everyone should share ideas, and you meet bad ideas with better ideas, not kick them out. You
understand what I'm saying?
No, but
Ronnie.
Communists, please tell us. Run for government. I hope you don't win.
No, okay, you could say it now as a nice 28-year-old idealistic young man, but
we should ban political theories in this country. We should kick out people for their political beliefs.
I'm just saying I don't want them here. I'm not running for president.
No, you don't like them.
I don't like them.
But they shouldn't be here because they have different political beliefs than you.
What about a terrorist group?
Well,
should they stay here? What if
they're advocating violence? Very different than a different political system.
They want to change America.
Communism advocating violence.
They want to be communistic.
You should make that illegal to be communist.
In America, yes. Go to another country.
That's the least American thing in the world. Just so you know.
No problem. Then I'm least American.
But the liberals for the last 4 years.
He's so serious.
For the last 4 years, the media has been saying, if you don't agree with us, not only you're racist and sexist, but you're wrong and we're going to cancel you. Like, they've even...
but they're wrong in their views. They're wrong in their views. My views are correct.
They've even been saying...
You're so funny, Brian.
You should be banned from social media. You should be silenced for your ideas if you are conservative. If you are...
But they're stupid people is a difference.
But we also just said at the start of this conversation that the liberal media, one of the reasons they lost is because they called the other half of the country idiots.
No, I'm not calling people. No. I'm not calling the other half of the country idiots. I'm saying that people, if someone says America should be communistic, they're idiots.
Why?
Because they're just idiots.
Why? What is idiotic about that? What's low IQ, stupid about that?
You understand
what I'm saying? What is? Why are they idiots?
Okay, you're going literal again with the definition when I use idiots, like saying... They're retarded.
Okay, so then
really? Do they have Down syndrome?
So then what do you mean? Why are they idiots?
They mean they're fucking waste.
Why?
I'm not going to listen to somebody that wants to make America communistic.
What about if someone wants to make America fascist, like ultra right, ultra conservative, ultra Republican, ultra Republican?
I don't agree with that either. But
you don't agree with it. But should they be kicked out?
Listen, you understand? You're taking everything I'm saying literally. When I'm saying about if someone doesn't believe. If they want to, let's say, take down America, whatever it is, whether it's terror.
Very different than...
I understand it's very different, but I don't think Kamala should be kicked out of America. I don't care about it, even the far left idiots that are against him, that have a different view than I do. They shouldn't be kicked out of America. You understand that? So when you say that stuff, you're talking so literal.
But you know how we got to this conversation is we were talking about deporting people. And then we got on this, so it's like, you're saying, they should leave also.
No,
it's like, yes. What do you mean?
Okay,
so then now you're saying, no, I don't mean kick them out.
Why are they idiots? Their IQ? I mean, come on, bro.
No, but
you understand, Brian. It's called the conversation, and
I know, but you said communists are idiots, and I said why? Why are they idiots? Because they believe something differently than you,
or fucking retards? How about that? Is that a better? Why retards?
Why? Because they believe something different than you.
Well, because I think they're completely wrong.
Why?
Why?
Why is that wrong?
Because I don't believe in communism.
Why?
Are we doing that same podcast as
No,
always?
but
this is what we're doing,
but
Bronson?
I'm not trying to be annoying. I'm genuinely
you're a
asking.
little retarded now.
Why is communism wrong?
Because that's not. I don't believe in that. That's
Why?
not my ideology. Because I just don't.
Wait, what do you mean believe? It's not why?
I don't believe in
it's
that.
It's not God. You have
no
God. You just believe it or not.
No.
You have reasons for.
No, I don't believe that political system, that governmental system works.
Why?
I don't like it. I don't like the control of it. I like the fact that you can't. It's anti-capitalistic. You can't grow and prosper. There's a lot of control.
China is communist, and they're the biggest growth economy in the country.
I'm talking about individual. I'm talking about individuality. I don't agree with it. No, I don't agree with China
I understand,
either.
but I'm just, you say these things, and I want you. I just
want to
know why you say.
You know why? People know, but they've been saying no for years. Why? I want you to say something. I'm going to be like, why? But why?
No,
but why?
I always give reasons.
No, you don't.
Yes,
you do. You're so wrong, Bron.
If asked, I always give reasons.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so RFK. I mean, I guess we kind of already talked about it, but I just wanted. I mean, I guess there's nothing.
So
to talk about,
I think it's actually very good. I was telling people even after the other podcast that you have a positive interest in this new government. You have a very different view because you're excited. You believe in the people that you believe the people that have been put in are successful leaders that can get things done. They have the same beliefs.
Some of them, yeah.
I don't mean all, Bronny.
No,
I'm talking in general.
I know. I'm adding
I'm literally talking in generalities.
I'm just adding my own. You're saying what I'm saying, so I'm just adding to it.
Okay. And I think that's a shift from you from, let's say, a couple of months to now.
Well, yeah, my people got in.
That's
the people that
I'm
I
saying is a good thing.
Right.
I'm saying, so I think that's a lot of people are fed up.
It's like if the Panthers keep losing and losing and losing, I'm like, honestly, fuck this team. And then if they win, I'm like, okay, this is the team.
No, I'm saying it's a positive.
Right.
Bro.
No, I'm clarifying yes.
Okay. And I appreciate, but everyone understood what I was saying, but I hear you.
Yeah, but I was just adding to it.
All right. No problem.
I was adding my own spin on what you were saying that I was saying.
Okay.
Aren't I allowed to do that?
You can do anything you want. You know that.
I don't like the government, but there are people that are in charge of the government currently, or they will be, that I like those people, right? RFK, I don't like the bureaucracy and the agencies of the CDC and the FDA and all that stuff. And I still won't like them, I don't think, even when RFK is the head of the Department of Health and Human Services. But I trust him as an individual. So then I think he can accomplish things. But the system itself still, I think, is a bad system. The agencies have perverse incentives, and they're naturally prone to corruption.
There's a lot of corruption in our government. I agree.
Right.
So, see,
and I think it's going to be an uphill battle for him, even though he's the head of it. I think there are
not gonna be
powers
easy.
that be that are against him that'll make it his job of trying to accomplish things extremely difficult.
And so corrupt and so powerful that'll make it hard for him.
Because half of the people in the FDA and half of the people in the CDC work for all the big pharma companies, and they're billionaires. And so they're going to be pushing against everything that he does, and maybe even trying to kill him. There's going to be...
There's a lot. That's a big fair factor. Look, with what happened with Trump with the 2 assassinations, a lot of these people need to worry about
all of the pharma stocks, all of the big pharma company stocks
went down,
plummeted the day after he. So it's like there's just inherently perverse incentives that are built into that system.
Correct.
Because if the system of health in this country isn't to make people healthy, it's to make money.
It's all money.
So it's like if he's coming in and he's running on a platform of his platform is make America healthy again. His whole point is, look,
less drugs, better foods.
The pharmaceutical companies are the biggest they've ever been in the history of the world. They make them more money than ever before. Yet every single chronic illness, every single disease, every single childhood illness factor is up 100-fold.
Right. So obviously, where's the problem?
Something's not working.
Right.
And so that's all he ran on. Is he said, I'm going to come in and I'm going to figure out what's not working and make it work, because something clearly is not right. And then everyone is against that. It's like there's something there that's clearly just objectively there's a corruption there.
Well, we know it's huge corruption.
Yeah, and so even though he's the head of it, I think it's great. Finally, he was given the sword, but there's still an army that he has to get through. So I think that it's
But
going
at
to be an
least
uphill
it's
battle.
a start. It's a
100%.
start, just like the guy with the border. Okay, I think that it's better to have people like that in there than people who want to join in on the corruption. So
definitely, no, I'm super hopeful about it. But I'm just when you said that, like I like the government. I know.
I don't mean saying you like. I know you're anti-government, but you have
I'm hopeful for the people that were put in the power positions.
You have a there's a spark. Like same with me too. Like there are people that have been in office that I'm like, oh, it's just not good. The problem is the powers to be, the powers that are on that left side, okay? They're so powerful and so corrupt that if they were all in office again for another 4 years, it would be irreversible. It would have been
it would definitely get worse.
So bad.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm pumped about the change.
And there's just a huge course correction. Not only politically, culturally too. 4 years ago, you could never really publicly on, the biggest broadcast of the year on Netflix, you couldn't say like pro-Trump things. Like, or you could, there are just a lot of things in the last 4 to 12 years in culture that cancel culture and trans stuff and safe spaces and woke stuff. Like that was the culture.
But that was, we never had that in my.
No, I know, but that was the mainstream culture for the last decade.
But and
now it's changed.
Right. So here's the thing. So
within a week, it's changed.
I'm 58. Gonna be 58. So up till my 54, I've never experienced that pendulum that we started our podcast on. That was fucking crazy.
Absolute craziness.
It was so. Even when you showed me he, she, like what they put into law, when you showed me they were the he, she, the pronouns. No, you can't say aunt or uncle. Like, remember that? It was almost like a Saturday Night skit. If you told me that 10 years ago, I'd be like, that's the funniest thing I've seen in my entire life. Or when they did the Robert Rules of Order and they were.
Right, yeah.
Okay. That stuff. So
And when all that stuff, when all that stuff was going on, like everyone knew that it was crazy, but you couldn't say it was crazy.
Well, we did.
Right. But we also were fucking taken off TikTok and shit.
But hear me out. It's like, I get it, but we stood firm, right? So when you watch that shit, and it's going to be easier for you to watch than someone like me because I'm more old school and I'm older, and it was unimaginable.
Yeah.
So it would anger me more. We've had people in office, Jimmy Carter. There were other Democrats in office that were not great presidents, but we accepted them. The majority of people accepted it. That's what the people wanted, and we got through them because the damage they were doing was not so astronomical. Because
it wasn't damage; it was just like different ways
ideology.
of doing things.
Correct, but
it
still
wasn't damage.
You're correct, but still America.
Yeah,
still America.
Right.
Okay. So my point is, now under this office, the amount of illegals coming, the crime. If you told me,
cultural
listen,
damage, the woke shit. And
correct.
Stuff.
If you told me 10 years ago, another country's gang lords would have come in and taken over buildings in Colorado, I'd be like, Bronson, you're retarded. You're delusional. It will never happen. Okay? So my point is, when you see all these things, and then when you see about the culture canceling, when I didn't believe you that we would get shadow banned, I'm like, what are you talking about? But it's true.
For saying like retarded.
Right. When you see all these things and you see the way things are, you say to yourself, as a middle-aged man, like, what the fuck?
But even people my age and younger, I mean, Trump won out the youth vote. But I think people were like, what the fuck?
But you understand the shock factor of someone like my age.
Yeah.
So when I talk about America, getting America, I'm talking about that prior America.
Right.
Is what I'm talking about.
And I think that's why Trump won so much.
Correct.
People were like, this is nonsense. All right, guys, you had your fun. Kick the kids out. Okay, we got to bring normalcy back.
But you know how big, but if she won, that side won, it would have been so bad. It would have.
Yeah.
Imagine another 15 million people coming over the next 4 years.
There's so many things.
No, done.
But she didn't. So
that's why when I say get America back, that's what I mean about the America. So the prior. It is the best thing that happened in the world, him winning. World.
So, yeah, there's just another thing that I want to talk about before we wrap up, because I want to get your reaction. So, like I said, a lot of people, like there's way less reaction from people, negative reaction than I thought there was going to be. Like way less backlash.
You think it's going to happen on January 20th, or it's going to be too late at that? Like that's already old news.
I think people have kind of just accepted. Even Biden, did you see Trump went to the White House?
Yes.
And Biden and him met, and it was very respectful, very cordial.
They all say he's not liking Kamala either.
Well, yeah. Right. But a funny thing, just a good point that people online were making is like how hypocritical the left is. Because for
we knew that.
For 4 years, they're saying, and especially in the last year, they're literally saying, they're not just like saying, they were literally saying Trump is like Hitler.
100%.
Donald Trump is a
100%.
fascist, racist, sexist, rapist. He rapes women, and he's Hitler, and he's going to, he's a white supremacist. Right?
That's just a view. Teasing.
But so they say these things, like the Democratic Kamala herself has literally said he's like Hitler.
Yep.
Biden has been saying these things, right? Yep. So it's like they say these things. They just say them. And then Biden shakes his hand, welcomes him with a smile into the office. He's into the Oval Office. He says, "Welcome back. Good to see you." It's like, if you believed he was Hitler, you would, if I was president and Hitler won, I would never invite him into my office, and I would never shake his hand and smile with him and take pictures. He's Hitler. You know, it's like, so they're so hypocritical.
But they've always been hypocritical.
I know, but it's just
with COVID,
it shows it on the face.
Remember, they wouldn't wear the masks when they got caught.
But it's just all, it's like, you know, now, but then some people just won't see through that. But a lot of people will be like, okay, you called this guy Hitler for years. We believed you. And now you're shaking his hand. I would never shake Hitler's hand. So you were lying. You were just trying to play me. And it's
that's what they do.
I know. And a lot. I like when people can see it. Like when it's so obvious.
Well, also the fact of.
But I think it's good that Biden welcomed him to the Oval Office. Listen, that's not what I'm saying.
I got to tell you, I think, which you said when we thought Kamala had a chance, and we all did, you thought the debate between Trump and Biden was not good because it got Biden to be removed. Him. I think it was great because it showed. I think. See, hear me out for a second. And of course, it's hindsight's 2020. It's always easy to talk about it after the fact, right? But remember when people were hiding it, the whole the news, and they saw it. I think
and lying about it and calling us
us
idiots,
right? And I think where people, I think that even also got people saying,
100%.
"Fuck you."
Well, there were a lot of moments,
right? And even and so stupid. Even the fucking Petey the squirrel.
Yeah,
people don't. It shows you that people don't fucking like it anymore.
And I think there have been a lot of those moments over the last year or two where people who otherwise, if CNN didn't try so hard to lie,
correct,
people would have just gone along with it. But it's
correct.
Like they were lying so hard that people are like, okay, I can't believe you anymore, guys. Like you went too far, and now I'm not an absolute moron. Like I have some.
Don't
semblance.
Treat me like a fucking idiot.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people were just like, okay, honestly, fuck you guys now. And I
yes,
think that was
I think
a big
it's
thing.
Huge.
So this thing that I want to talk about, there was a bit of a backlash online with women. There was a thing called the 4B movement that's like going on.
4B?
Yeah. So apparently in South Korea, you haven't heard about this?
No.
In South Korea, like over the last couple of years, there's been like this new cultural movement. This is just where it comes from, but it's not that important. There's been like this cultural movement where women are becoming celibate until like they meet their husband or something. Because they're like, I don't want to just date around. But that's like the South Korean thing. That's just where the 4B comes from. So since Trump won and a lot of liberal women.
Oh, yeah.
Since a lot of liberal women are like, men clearly don't like respect us as women because they're like choosing, they get to choose our bodies.
How many women voted for Trump?
Yeah, right? And it's like,
come on.
So a lot of liberal women have been saying, if you think that you have power over my body, then I'm going to make myself ugly and celibate.
Okay.
So they're shaving their heads and they're like purposely making themselves ugly. They were all ugly to begin with.
Correct.
But they're literally shaving their heads in like a women empowerment thing and being like, well, now you can't sleep with me.
Okay.
And it's like,
okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And
how's it going to work out? I'm going to say, how's it going to work out for young ladies?
Everyone is like,
You're
who's this for?
Yeah.
No, like
you're an idiot.
It's so funny. I can show you some of the videos, but they're like,
I want to say, but wait, the Bronson wants to, those are the Kamala voters.
Yeah.
See how stupid that is?
They're saying because Trump won, now I'm going to make myself
great. I'm happy.
Sexy for
I'm
men.
I'm happy for you.
Because men don't deserve me anymore because they voted against me.
Perfect. I think it's great. Let them do it. Let them more do it.
So far, I have not seen a single attractive 4B movement woman. And I just thought that whole movement was so funny, and I wanted. Let me see if I can see any of them on TikTok.
Fucking retards.
Or
that's someone's daughter too. You know what I mean, Bronny? Like, how as a parent,
well, they all have daddy issues.
Listen, as a parent, how can you be proud of these?
Those women are the definition of daddy issues.
Oh, this is great. I love it. Let me say. I
have to shave my head to keep conservative men away. Just kidding. Never mind. She said, just considering I'm a proud conservative woman. I have too much common sense to do stupid 4B movement. Was created for women who need it. You're a privileged woman in the USA. Okay, so she was trolling. Let's find a real one.
No matter how loud.
This is great.
Hello, and welcome to your 373rd post.
Oh, you know who this is? So I think she's saying, okay, because there's been a backlash to the backlash. Because now a lot of women who have cancer or who have alopecia or something,
it's a mockery on them.
They've been coming out and saying,
don't do this.
Well, no. It goes even, they're saying you're shaving your head so that you're, and calling you're unattractive.
Ooh, that's offensive.
And you're saying this is women empowerment. I'm a woman. I have no hair. I'm unattractive now just because I have no hair.
Right. That's
and
offensive.
I was like, damn, that's a great point.
That's great. You're offending them.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, just because you shave your head, that means you're unattractive. What about women who don't have hair? They're automatically unattractive. What about all the black women who don't have hair?
You're supposed to be liberal and not fucking judgmental?
Exactly. I thought that was a great counterpoint.
Wow.
So I think that's what this woman's saying.
The 4B movement on your FYP. Joining you today is myself, someone who shaved her head due to medical reasons, not due to Trump getting elected, and I'm here to explain what the movement is, what I think about it, and yeah.
Oh, this is a really long video. That's a 7-minute video.
Oh, kill me now. But yeah, she put makeup on.
I want to see like real people who did it. Here, like this is a cancer patient. Dear 4B.
Okay, so let me get this straight.
Fucking
The
TikTok.
4B.
Dear 4B movement, you shaved your head to swear off men so they would find you unattractive. We shaved ours to show strength against the thing that's trying to kill us. We're not the same.
Right. Gives me chills, right? Doesn't that give you chills?
I want to find, there's this woman. I want to find like the people who are actually doing. This says, do you have the...
To the men of America, thank you so much because you have now officially pushed any woman who was ever questioning herself away from you and into my arms. And I am now 100% gay. I wasn't sure before, but now I...
Okay.
Why do people have children like this?
Look, these are all people that are shaving their heads. See?
They all want attention, bro.
Yeah, that's what it is.
They
Because
all
otherwise
want,
you wouldn't.
You would never want to wear like that.
To the men of
Wait,
America,
do you have the
thank you.
courage, it says, to do
the
it?
men of America.
Why is that courage? Yeah, these are all self-seeking attention people.
Yeah, they all have issues.
Fucking retards.
So I just
my
wanted-
God, look at that one. Crying? What's that? What's that say?
I'm convinced the secret to dating is just not to give a fuck about anybody and just treat them like shit. Because whenever you do care about somebody...
I don't think this is a Trump thing because that was posted a while ago.
These weirdos.
I can't find any of the crazy ones.
This world's crazy. What's with people?
Yeah.
I just learned what the 4B movement was because somebody had said that women are shaving their head in support of the 4B movement. And I was like, cool, awesome. We're going to have more bald baddies. And this is not a post about the 4B movement at all. Like, my daughter said that she's joining. That's what she wants to do. I said, girl, you get it. But then I realized when I learned what the 4B movement was, why y'all are saying you're going to shave your head. It's so you'll be less attractive, right? To men. Because women without hair are not attractive. Like, and I know you're looking at me right now and you're like, girl, you got yesterday's makeup on. I do.
It is offensive to
It's
women.
extremely offensive.
I can't find any of the ones where
The
they're
world
actually
is
shaving
fucking
their heads.
retards.
Yeah.
They're retards.
It's just so funny that they're all like, we're going to shave
No
our
man
heads
wants them.
because men like voted against our rights. And first of all, no, they didn't.
They did not.
I don't know. Okay.
There's nothing that Trump. There's not one thing on Trump's platform that's against women's rights.
Not only that, people are saying, like the day after the election, people are like, I woke up and I had less rights than I did yesterday.
That's not true.
First of all, Trump's not president yet.
Okay, I know, but that's you
no,
being
I know,
literal.
But it's like,
you know what they
Trump's
mean
not
now.
president yet.
You know what
and
they
then
mean.
also it's like,
What are they talking about?
There currently is no federal abortion right. Currently, under Biden, there wasn't one. So no rights were taken away. Under Biden, there was no federal abortion right. He had 4 years to fucking get a federal abortion right put in. He didn't have the House, I don't think. No, he didn't. But he had the Senate. Like, he could have tried to get a federal abortion right put in. He didn't. Because they wanted it. They wanted it as a chip. But it's like,
but it's still not the women's rights taken away.
and also, it's like the majority of states in America had on the ballot this November abortion rights, and the majority of them put them into their constitution. So it's like the majority of states in this country, you can still fully get an abortion. So if you were in California and you were a California woman and you woke up the next day when Trump won, it's like nothing changed in your life.
Nothing changed.
Regarding abortion. Nothing changed.
Nothing changed. Women's rights were not taken away.
No rights.
But that's the propaganda, the news, and the media. That's what they did.
But I want to ask one of them. Like someone
They
who
won't
said,
know. They won't know,
Someone
Bron
who
said.
said, my rights have been taken away. I want to ask what rights?
Okay.
What genuinely,
Uncle Alec,
what rights?
we talk about Uncle Alec. He thinks the rights were taken away.
But I want to ask him, what right?
Right.
What right did you have that you didn't have?
Correct.
Because you didn't have abortion 3 years ago. That right was that. It also wasn't a right, by the way. It was a Supreme Court case, right? Like it was common law. It wasn't a right, a legal right. So it's
if the Supreme Court makes a ruling, that becomes a legal right.
Yeah, but it was always precarious.
Case law. No,
yeah, but they should have codified it. They had Roe v. Wade was the 60s. So they had 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010, 2020s. They had 60 years to codify federal abortion into law. And they didn't.
Right, case law all the time. Different judges overrule case law all the time.
Case law can be overruled all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like if you wanted it protected, if you wanted the right, then you should have made it law. No. But none of them ever did because they want it as a chip.
There is no difference in women's rights, period.
No difference in any rights. And then a lot of people were like,
the propaganda.
Like LGBT rights are a threat. What?
Well, but with Trump's...
the T rights are.
Listen, what's the T?
Trans.
Okay.
But the LGBT, no one gives a shit about any of it.
No one's changing about it. And the sports thing, yeah, Trump's... Because I'm all favor of that.
The majority of people are.
Correct.
So a congressman from Massachusetts, the most liberal state, one of the most liberal states in the country, traditionally too, like traditionally liberal. A congressman from Massachusetts who just won, I think, his seat in the House. He came out this week and was like, let me just get his exact quote, because it was about this. Massachusetts Congressman Seth Moulton, that's his name. Democratic Rep Seth Moulton. So let me see. He said, I want to find his exact quote. Okay. So he was talking to the New York Times last week about how Democrats are reckoning with the outcome of the election. And he said, this is a quote, Democrats spend way too much time trying not to offend anyone rather than being brutally honest about the challenges many Americans face. I have 2 little girls. I don't want them getting run over on a playing field by a male or formerly male athlete. But as a Democrat, I'm not supposed to, but as a Democrat, I'm supposed to be afraid to say that.
Good for him.
And it's like, that's what everyone agrees. By the way, the day after his chief of staff resigned. And it's like, because he was...
Let him resign.
Right. It's like, okay, good.
You're not doing it. I give a fuck.
Isn't that ridiculous? So it said, Moulton's comments and the pushback he has faced from fellow Democrats are part of a broader debate about the party's messaging on issues such as trans rights in the wake of their recent electoral defeats. But I think... so here's another one. Representative Tom Suozzi from New York narrowly won re-election. He argued that Democrats in down ballot races like his succeeded by separating themselves from the party's more liberal policies. Suozzi said Democrats need to stop pandering to the far left. I don't want to discriminate against anybody, but I don't think biological boys should be playing in girls' sports.
Good.
Democrats aren't saying that, but they should be.
So
it's like
By the way, now that Trump's going to be in office, I think people are going to be more comfortable saying what they want to say.
Because
they felt that way.
99% of the country is like, guys, men shouldn't be competing against girls in
sports,
track
physical,
and field,
right.
or beating them up in boxing.
Right.
I don't know anyone who
I agree.
But they were afraid to say that. But I think it's great that it, like, it's the, like we were saying, the vibe shift.
You and I were never afraid. I got to say, I got to give her a pat on our back. Yep. We never, ever. I've had people say to me, aren't you afraid you can lose clients? But I don't give a fuck. I've had people say to me, aren't you concerned it will affect your business? I don't care. I'm not going to change
We're on the right side of history.
No, I'm saying I'm not going to change who I am. But we were on the wrong.
But also just, it's not even who you are. Common logic.
No, but my point is not be afraid to say it is what I'm saying. Yeah. So listen to this. So I went out to lunch with a buddy of mine, and Jewish guy, and we're talking about it. And, you know, I wear my Jewish store or whatever. But I said, you know, I don't believe in God. And he's a great guy. And he goes, you can think that, but you shouldn't say it out loud. I said, and
like, why?
Right. I went through the whole thing. But my point, you should be able to say whatever you want to say, even if you don't agree with it. If someone doesn't agree with it.
What if they're communist?
They can say it. I just don't want them.
But they should just not say it in this country.
No, they can say it. I just don't think that they should be trying to change our country. I don't need them here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other.
They're counterproductive to what I think
to
is
what you want,
to what is good for America. And what I usually say is usually the right thing. I
do think that, like, this also goes to show, like, the vibe shift.
I think it's huge. I think it's huge.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Brian, I love you. Everybody, thanks. Peace out.
You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.